Okay, so I am mixing two different shades of the slip tint and a little bit of primer into it to kind of thin the amount of coverage because I don't really want a lot. I just want like a little something to smooth everything out. And so I have it here on my spatula or my palette. Take the little spatula. The great thing about makeup is there's not rules, but like it's just so interchangeable and like blendable, and you know, if you don't have your right shade, make your right shade, you know? It's just color theory. If it's too full coverage, add a little bit of primer. So I'm going to put that on the back of my hand so my body heat can kind of warm it up. I'm going to start working it into my skin. Being very careful to not put too much product under my eyes so you avoid creasing. I feel like using your finger is great to really press the product into your skin. So as you can see, it's super light, like sheer coverage. It just helped even everything out, helped take some of the redness out of my nose. So let me just add a little bit more right there. So now that I already pressed it in with my finger, I'm gonna go on with a brush and some setting spray. I'm just gonna really smooth it out and even it out. It also will pick up any excess product. See, now I'm taking it under my eyes some. I'm gonna use some of the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. It's a lighter shade than what I just put on.
Here's what I found.
So I'm gonna use that to highlight under my eyes and my forehead, any spots you want to highlight, but see, it's lighter. The skin tint does oxidize over time, so it's not going to be this light when it actually sets, but it still brings a little brightness. And it has a super light formula, so it shouldn't crease much under my eyes. If I really wanted to go in, I could have color corrected, but I don't really have, my dark circles aren't that crazy, so I don't really feel like I need to. And then always even out your eyelids as well. Even if you're not putting anything up there, you still want to just even it out because you have veins and discoloration, and you know, my eyelids kind of tend to run on the purple side. A lot of red undertones in my skin, so purpley red vibes, and that's not going to be very cute. So now I'm going to go on with the Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick, little baby one. And I'm just going to put this in the spots where I want to create shadows. I feel like out there's like so many different things about where to use bronzer, where to use contour, what the difference is, and I like to go with putting a cool tone contour where you want to create a shadow. Just gonna blend that out, but not too much. You wanna keep it where you placed it, but you obviously want it to be even and smooth and not, you know, visibly different. For right here, I just like to kind of suck my cheeks in a little bit and follow under my cheekbone. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the Rose Ink cream blush in Azalea. I'm really a fan of kind of the brick red kind of vibes. Again, on the back of my hand. The back of your hand is like the best palette you can use because it warms the product, but I just wanted to use the metal palette to mix the initial product. For the longest time, I wouldn't use any blush. I would just kind of wanted to even my skin tone out. But when you don't use any blush, it kind of just makes you look, I don't know, you're like monotone and you look kind of like, I don't know, the word zombie comes to mind. I don't know, a tan zombie, yeah. I'm just gonna go back in with the lighter shade I used to kind of soften the edges. Now I'm gonna go in with my NARS bronzer. It's a cream bronzer. I use Laguna 3. The NARS bronzers are supposed to be good for any skin tone, whether you're more like red undertone or warm or olive. They're supposed to be good for everybody. And you can kind of tell, you can see, this is the contour shade I use and this is the bronzer shade. So it's much warmer. And with bronzer, you're gonna wanna put it where you would naturally get sun on your face. And I'm just gonna warm it on the back of my hand and then I'm gonna use this brush to apply it. So the top of the forehead, top of the cheekbones, just right on top of that blush is okay, and I'm going to take it across the bridge of my nose as well. Now I'm going to set. I want this to be very natural looking, so I'm not going to bake, I'm not going to use a powder puff. I'm going to take my Mercier translucent honey and I'm going to use a brush to set because I just want a little bit. I want to lock it in place so I can apply some powdered products on top, but I do not want to bake it, because then I'll look cakey and it's not gonna look like natural, passable. It's gonna be very visible that I'm wearing makeup, and I feel like so far you can't, if you didn't know me, if you didn't just watch this video, you wouldn't really know, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take a Q-tip and just dab the excess product from where my eye creases the most. And yeah, there you go. So that's just gonna make sure that when I set it, it's not setting that little like wrinkle essentially that is in my under eye with the makeup in it. And I'm gonna take a small fluffy brush. I'm gonna tap off the excess. And I'm gonna set my under eye like this. I always do the areas where I want the most, like, you know, prone to oil and where I want the most kind of blurring effect with a small brush. So I always do under my eyes, down the middle, the bridge of my nose, because it really, the Lower Mercier especially I love because it really gives you that blurred effect. And since we're going for a blur, I may as well just kind of go down here as well to hopefully help with my whole pore situation I have going on. And then before I do my forehead, I'm just gonna wipe the brush clean and smooth out up here because I do have forehead wrinkles, and I just wanna make sure there's no product setting in the lines before I set it. And I kind of take this like most of my forehead just because I really want to do the blurring effect in those wrinkles. And then for the rest of my face, I will use a bigger fluffy brush. And again, top off the excess. Again, for the eyelids, smooth it out. And don't forget the neck. So it's looking brightened, it's looking smooth, it's looking pretty natural. But then I like to go in with some setting spray and really let it melt together. And that's what's really gonna give it that really nice finish. All right, so as you can see, the setting spray has melted the powder and the cream product together, and it's very natural, very skin finish, while still being brightened and evened out. So now I'm gonna go in with some powder products just to really define everything. Not everything, certain areas. Got my little contour palette, and I'm gonna go in and just add some more depth to these areas. But always tap off the excess product so you don't end up with a dark streak in your makeup that you just spent so long making look like undetectable and undercover, you know, it defeats the whole purpose. And again, down here. It's very subtle, but that's the whole point, you know? And then I'm actually gonna take a small like blending brush, and I'm gonna, actually not that small. Morphe M433. I haven't said any brush numbers so far. I don't know why I said this one, but I'm gonna take a little bit of the like contour, but I'm gonna take the warmer color and I'm gonna take it up into the crease just to add a little dimension. And with hooded eyes, you can always kind of do it with your eyes open to really see where it's going or where it needs to go, because the worst thing is when you spend half an hour on your makeup or however long and then you open your eyes and then you can't see any of the eyeshadow you just did, you know? So it's very, I can't see and show you at the same time, but it's very subtle. I don't want to look like I'm wearing eyeshadow, and I'm not, it's bronzer. And then with my eyebrows, they're already very, very full. I just kind of brush them to make them lay right, you know? You comb your hair or brush your hair every day, hopefully, maybe. And you should brush your eyebrow hair as well. And then I just use the Wet n Wild Mega Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. And then you want to run in the opposite direction to really coat the hairs, and then brush it up in the direction you want. And then with this, I like to let it dry down a little bit and then brush through it one more time. Brush through it one more time with just a clean spoolie, just to, as it dries, to like really set it down. I'm gonna go on again with my contour palette and then a bronzer. Sorry, it's actually a highlighter, but it has some shimmer to it, so I do a mixture of both with a lighter color. And then I'm going to go in with blush, because you want to bring that life back into your face, but I'm just going to do the lightest amount because I'm trying to keep it DL, you know? Top of the forehead too. And like sometimes just like a little bit on my nose, but I don't like to put it like right on the top in the middle because that's the lighter part, and I feel like it turns too kind of pinky, too blushed. So I just like to add a little color on the sides, because if you have redness in your skin, it's going to be all over your face and not just on your cheeks. And I did go a little heavy right here, so I'm just going to try to blend her out a little bit. Remember when I said to just do the tiniest amount? It's not bad though. It's salvageable. You can always take a little bit of powder . to really soften that edge. And we'll use setting spray again before we're finished, so it'll melt it in too. You just want to be careful with it. You don't want to overdo it. Now that they had time to dry, one more time. And we're pretty much done. Setting spray. And lastly, the Clarins lip oil. This is the cherry one. Again, that brick red vibe. It's my fave, but this is a lot more pigmented than I thought it was when I bought it. And so I just use the smallest amount. It's giving skin, it's giving fresh, it's giving rested, dewy. Oh, I'm not even done. The last thing, totally unnecessary, but I like to sometimes curl my lashes just to really perk them up. I guess I should look in the mirror to do this, huh? And then just for a good measure, a little bit of the clear mascara on there too. All right, now we're done for real. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.